Hello. So yeah, let's get started for today's session. So hopefully I'm audible to everybody. So this series like brush up brush up skills. I started considering like there are a lot of knowledge is scattered on a net, and anybody in a net or in a books, and anybody wants to prepare for the session, he has to go through the different material on a net and then uh, read different books. What I'm trying to do is like I'm not doing anything new. I'm just collecting that whole knowledge and structuring. So preparation for the interview can be done little faster, and no need to go through the so much material on the net or on a book. Definitely after. So this is very quickly I will, so because this has too much knowledge, I will try to cover very quickly from the brush up perspectives, like what are the interviewers expecting, what are the things you have to prepare, what are the questions it is asking. So I'll try like to consolidate all those things in these sessions. So this will be series of sessions, so it's not like just so much knowledge I cannot cover in one session. So you have to keep attending the sessions, and I keep publishing on the Facebook, or I have a mobile app. If you can download that mobile app, right now available only on Android, there all the information about the sessions will be published, so you will be notified for any new sessions. So today's session is mostly about seeing the tree as a data structure, and what is the interviewer is looking for around tree, what kind of question it asks, and what are the fundamentals. So I'm not going to cover much fundamental. I'm assuming like many of these things you know, but just I'll run through the session from the breadth of perspective. So okay, these are the things interviewer asks. Okay. So so touch up the area which are interested in interest of the interviewer and understand the interview cracking techniques. So it is purely this whole things are designed purely cracking the interview perspective. How you can crack the interview. Um, so and disclaimer is like this all knowledge I have collected from different places, and this whole session is based on the my knowledge. So it might be wrong and right. So what you have to do is like don't 100% believe what I am saying. You have to go back and verify whatever I'm saying, and try, and any improvement you can do top of it, that is good. So is I collected everything, but no guarantee it is all correct. So you have to go and re-verify all the things, whatever I'm saying, and then go back to. So let's understand first, like general guidelines. Like so, general guidelines means like you are going for an interview where data structure related interviews is happening. So many companies they have a separate round, just they call it data structure and algorithm round, where they just ask you the data structure and algorithm related questions. So this is very generic guidelines which will give the good impression to the interviewer. So first thing is like listen carefully, make notes, and understand question right. This is very important before getting into the problem solving. Don't go and suddenly somebody is iterating the question and you start solving. Listen it carefully what he's saying, note it down whatever he's saying. Okay, and understand the question right is very important. Many times in hurry we just assume something and go ahead, that is not good. Repeat the question and clarify the doubt before attempting. So when interviewers say ask some questions, don't assume like whatever you understood is right. Just repeat the questions with interviewer. Just tell him like whatever you are understanding, just repeat it. So whatever you have noted down, you just repeat to confirm like you understood right. Understand the limitation and constraints also. Like so many times interviewer what they does is like they will not give you complete question, just to check like how good you are in understanding the problem properly. So what you have to do is like whenever some question is asked, many almost all the questions when we'll go through we'll understand like uh, uh, there will be different kind of questions you can ask around some questions. So what you have to do is like you have to prepare like what kind of questions should be asked around some questions. So you have to ask all the limitations, constraints, like how much memory is available, in which environment we have to run, what kind of test cases you have to execute. Like so, based on that, like you can create even before attempting that, should you should try and ask the relevant question. And second thing is like always try to be little to the point when you are discussing with the interviewer, and ask always relevant questions. Okay, discuss the assumptions before proceeding on the solution. So same thing like limitation, constraint, and when you are designing any solution, whatever assumptions you are making, just clarify with the interviewers, is it okay or not. Otherwise many times you solve problem in 1 hour using your assumption, but interviewer is thinking something else. Write clean and indented code. This is another thing interviewer is looking for, like how good you are writing code. It should be very clean, indented, variable name should be right, method name should be right, it should be modular. So you should be very careful while writing the code, like so it should be very clean and indented code, and method names and other things should be so variable, and method name should be appropriate. So without you explaining, somebody reads your code should be able to understand what you are doing inside that code. So it should be that quality code when you are writing on a paper, on a board, or on a editor anywhere. So this is another thing which interviewer looks for. Handle the con. This is another very important thing, is like many times we just concentrate on solving the problem and core algorithm, but we forget to handle many cases, like specifically null checks, out of bound checks, then a couple of negative test cases. So as a senior guy, like 2 3 year experience or a 10-year experience or 12-year experience, only difference between you and a fresher is like is handling more. You can think of more and more condition and handle those in a code. Like second thing is like solve the core problem first. Many times like this is fine, like to you to handle all the kernel conditions and everything, that is fine, but you have to concentrate on a solving core problem first. Solve core problem first, and then put the all the corner conditions around it. Discuss the alternate. Another thing is like when you solve the problem, just discuss the alternate solutions with the um, with the interviewers, just to showcase you understand that domain very well, and why there are multiple choice and why you have taken your choice. So this pro and cons of those things needs to be discussed. And so these is general guidelines, and write the code and practice is good. So like what I suggest is like even you know the algorithm, you know the how to solve problems, I would suggest like before for preparing interview, you have to open a editor and write a code and solve it, because otherwise remembering so many problems, remembering becomes very difficult. And when you write first time code, you do lot of mistakes. That is what I have seen in general in interviews. So if you have written earlier, like then it becomes little easy to write it into the at the time of interview. So any question, anything, make a practice to write and then clarify your doubt. So that is out like when you are appearing in an interview. So write and practice, that is very important. So these are a couple of general guidelines for appearing for the interview in a algorithm and a data structure. Uh, so let's get into the our today discussion on a tree. I just cover um, a couple of terminologies which we are going to use, or it is used mostly in interviews and discussions. So so this is so each tree will have has a root node. Without root node there is no tree. So this is so root node is a tree node which doesn't have any no parent is there. Okay, and then each node in a tree will be connected through using edge. So this is called edge. So parent to child relationship will be defined through the edge. And then there will be one node which doesn't have any child. So that is called the leaf node. So and siblings, this is just but I'm just repeating it because we are going to use in subsequent session. so you will not do the mistake. Siblings means like who child of the same parents, like, so these a B and C has the same parent A, so this becomes a siblings. And ancestors are B is ancestors of D E F, so so B becomes ancestor for D E F because it's a parent node. Similarly, A becomes an ancestor of D E F. So B is a parent, but A is the ancestors. A and B are the ancestors. Similarly, C, like here, it is the ancestor for the K. So because it is a parent, so it becomes ancestors. Similarly, descendants, like descendants means B descendants are D E F J. Similarly, C descendants are D G H I K. So this is, and then another terminology is a level. So node in a same level, like A is a one level 0, B and C is in level 1, and D E F G H I is a level 2 nodes, and then J and H will be level 3 nodes. So this is called the levels of the tree. Then another terminology is a height of a tree. So from, say, suppose this height of a will be A, B, C, J. So it will be three heights, 1, 2, 3, so 4. So A height will be 4, B height will be 1, 2, like, so 2, 3 height, B will be 3 heights. Okay, so like that, it will be a height. Either you can calculate from 0 or a 1, like, okay. Um, or depth, so height is like some node, how many how much depth he has from that node to the leaf node, so that is called the height. Another terminology is the depth. So depth is like how much distance he has from the root. So um, so if you see, like so many times people get confused between height and depth. So height is like how much distance you have from the leaf node. uh, uh, so that is called the height. So f height will be like whatever distance from J it is there. Height of B will be like whatever distance from J it will be for B, but depth will be whatever distance from the root. So if, like, for B, depth is from A is like 1. So that is the depth, and this is the height. So this the terminology we are going to use in subsequent discussions. So let's see, like, what we are going to cover in this session. So we have different kind of trees which has a different applications, and the different questions are asked around this different kind of trees. uh, so we have a general tree, and then a binary search tree, then a threaded tree, then a XOR tree, then a binary tree, tournament tree, and then couple of balance binary trees like AVL, red, black, B trees plus. So many different type of trees are there which has a different applications, and different kind of optimization is put on the board. We will see, like, what kind of applications uses what kind of tree, and what are the interviewer interest and questions around it. So this is pure from the interview perspective. So we will go through the different problems which interviewer ask, and we'll find out the right method to solve it. What is important in tree is, first thing is, like, you should understand the tree definition because you have to write a code. Then there are different traversing mechanism. You should know traversing mechanism because different traversing mechanism solves different problems. Then you can do different operations on a tree. This is again interviewer ask, like, if you have to insert a node, how you are going to insert a node in a tree, or if you want to find an if you want to delete a node, how you want to go into delete node. So there are different operations you can do on a tree, which where, like, interviewer are interested to see, like, how you perform different operations. There are a couple of operations very complicated. You should know the algorithm to do that. Specifically, like, if you go in a balance tree and then you have to remove a node or insert a node, it's little complicated. uh, Different approaches and solving the problems. There are different approaches for solving same problem. You should know, like, which approach is correct for the particular problem. Then different applications. This tree is used in different places. specifically important is like if you have used in your project for some purpose, it is very good to explain. Many times questions comes reverse, like, okay, you know everything in tree, but where you have used it in your project. So like, so you should be very ready for, so like, even you have not used in your project, but come before going interview, prepare certain cases, like here you have used this kind of tree, here you have used this kind of tree, or some framework or some infrastructure you have used where these trees are used. Like, so many times, like, if you use some Java construct, inside Java construct, some tree might have used, like, and then like tree set, like, so tree set is used the red black tree, like, so you, but you should know like some examples, some cases where you have used this tree, and it is all, sometimes this kind of questions comes, like, where you have used this. Then there are a lot of tricky problems until you know, what I have observed is, like, many times you try to solve this problem in front of interviewer, but if you don't know the tricks of solving this problem, becomes very difficult solve on the fly. So let's learn those tricks, so you can solve the problem quickly in front of interviewer. And another thing is, like, which I'm not going to cover in this, but when you are preparing for interview, then understand the complexity and analysis of the algorithms. Like, if you insert a node, what is the complexity of it, how much. So complexity comes in two forms. One is like time complexity, another one is the space complexity. So what you have to go is, like, anything, any algorithm you write, you have to come up with a complexity of that particular algorithm. And um, so this is very important overall when you are preparing tree related questions for the interview. So let's go from the basic to the little complex stuff, so we create a right context of discussions for everybody. So we will start with the binary tree. So binary tree is a simple definitions, like, it will have maximum two nodes. uh, each parent will have maximum two nodes, and these nodes are called left child and a right child. And this is the construct you define, like, you define the object, and then you define a node, saying left node and right node. So left will point to the left tree and right will point to the right tree of the uh, definition. So this is very basic construct, like, which will be used to define the binary tree. And different type of traversal is there. You should be know, you this is very important, you should know different kind of traversal. Sometime it is directly asked, like, given a tree, write a algorithm for the pre-order traversal. Sometime it is, sometimes some problem comes which can be solved only using certain traversal. So it is good to know all these traversal algorithms, so you can solve the any problem. And many times it is sometimes difficult to remember these things. So just for your remembering this thing, in these all three traversal is same, only root position, the root node, you traversal changes. So in pre-order it traverses first, in order traverse it traverses in middle, and post order it travels at end. Left and right remains same. Okay, so it is easy to remember, like, you always traverse left and right, and only root position traveling will we. And you use the stack. We will go and see one or two examples, like how to traverse a tree. But uh, uh, for prima facie, like, these are the three ways you can traverse, and root position only will change, and you will use the stack as a hint, like, to traverse these three kind of traversal. And these three kind of traversal, there are two techniques to traverse this tree. One is using recursion, like, if you do the pre-order recursion, if it is null, you just go and print, like, here you see, so like, root is first, then left, and then right. So here you come and then come and print the root, and then print the left, then call the recursive pre-order, and the pre-order for the right. If it is in order, then you will call this first, and then print this, and then this. And for post order, you will call these two first and then print the data. So it's very simple when you do the recursion. But many times interviewer complex the problem saying like you don't use the recursion, because he knows like writing the recursion is very easy and simple. But if you write the iteration, then it becomes little complex, and couple of things you have to take care. So just practice the iterations also, iterative way of solving problem. And for iteration you have to use a stack. So always put a left side on a, so it based on the traversal, like pre-order you print the node first. So as soon as you come, you print the node and start putting left side of the node into the stack. And if it is empty, you quit it. Otherwise you pop the root and then go to the left side of it and then start printing again. So this is a very simple, but just go and practice it, understand it properly, because here the interview, whenever iteration, whenever traversal questions comes, interviewer expect you should know both the techniques to write the code. So traversal is very important, writing both way, recursion and iteration. Then many times interviewer ask also which one is good and when you will use what. That is another questions interviewer asks. So you should be ready with those questions. A couple of things I listed down. Say recursion is simple, but overhead of function calling is there. So overhead of function calling is there, and that limits the, like if you have a huge data, then you definitely cannot use the recursion because of the stack memory. And compared to iteration, this stack will be created on a heap, so you have a large number of memory to use it. And in between, no, keep ready with your question or keep typing into the type in questions in the chat window. I will see like if I can answer those things as and when required. Okay. But because too many things I have to cover, so I will cover whole stuff in one shot, and then and if anything is relevant in a context to answer, I will try to answer. But otherwise it will be like mostly too many, around 40-45 slides are there, so I will go in a flow and then see like when to answer your questions. You keep typing your questions and queries into the chat window. Okay. uh, Important is a very important and a favorite of a interviewer is a post order without recursion, because this is little tricky and a complex. And just go, I will suggest just go and understand this traversal, and then carefully write the code, because that is this is compared to other, it is a little tricky. You have to go and practice it. So and hint for this is like visit. So what you have to do is like how post traversal will work. You will come, visit this node and print this node, and then come back here. As soon as you come back here, 90% you will print this, but instead of printing this you have to print this and then come back and print 12. So like you have to print 20, then print 10, then come back 12, then print the 10, and then print the 10 and then print the 12. So post order, no, each node will get visited twice. So you should have some mechanism to find out, so you are visiting this node twice and then you have to print it. So here I have given a very simple algorithm to do it, but I will suggest like you go through the this algorithm and then understand it properly with a sample code, and then practice writing it, because this is very favorite for the, it is little complex compared to other iterations. So it is little favorite to the interviewer to check how you understand the concept. Then couple of simple operations in a binary. Okay, one more thing, be very careful like uh, in answering questions whenever interviewers, that there is binary tree and there is binary search tree. So binary tree is like here, if you see like here only two childs will be there, but there is no sequence guarantee. Like here, like you see like 12 is coming, 10 is coming here, 12 is coming here, 5, there is no sequencing, no ordering. But if you go to binary search tree, it says like the root node should have the left node should be less than root node, and root node should be less than right node. So there is some restriction, but binary tree there is no restriction. So there is difference. So whenever you are interviewer asking any questions, you have to differentiate what he is saying. Like you have to use solve problem of a binary search tree or a binary tree, because both algorithm will differ if you try to solve problem in binary search tree and binary tree. We'll see couple of those things. So right now we are doing everything on a binary tree. No, it's not a binary search tree. So it can, so node and the value can come in any order anywhere. Okay. Only restriction is like it will have maximum two nodes. Each parent will have maximum two nodes. Let's see, like inserting. So the basic operation we will touch quickly. Insert a node. If you want to insert a node, what you have to do is like just go and check where is the position left, and you go and insert the node in that position. Okay, so you just come here. We will come to the traversal, little more traversal techniques. Then you will know which technique is good to insert. But what you have to do, you come here and see like it has a two child, then it is fine. Then go to next. It doesn't have any child or any node, then go and insert your node there. And what is the best technique will come maybe next. Similarly, like deletion of a node deletion is a little tricky. Like when you are trying to delete, if you are trying to delete this 20, no issue. Like you will go to the parent and make a right node null. This will get deleted. But if you have to delete to in middle node, then it becomes a little tricky, like how to solve this problem, because then lot of pointer changes will be there. So what is suggested is like instead of deleting this node, you just find the leaf node in its tree, change the value of that, and then remove the leaf node. So that's a good technique they suggest. So like what you have to do is like if you have to delete 12, go through it and find a leaf node. Say you find the 20 or a 6, you just replace 6 with 12 and delete the 6. So that is considered as a good technique to solve the deletion in a binary tree. Okay, so there is another very interesting traversal. Sorry, not recursion, traversal, which is called level traversal, and it solves lot of problems. Where we will see, like it is favorite of an interviewer, and then it solves lot of problem. So what is level traversal means, like you have to print 10, then print 12 and 5, and then print 20, 10, 30 and 25. So you have to print this level first, second level and third level. So and then so it should become in this order. And interesting is here, like on all other traversal you were using the stack, here you will use the queue. So what you will do is like you insert a node in a queue, and then put a while loop, and then remove the node from a queue and print it. And if left exists, node left exists, put in a queue. The right exists, put it in a queue, and this will print in this order. Like so, what you have to do is like put a node into the new queue, then start traversing queues and start putting all childs into the node. So that will print the level based traversal. And what are the problems generally, tower related problems, traversing related problems people ask? Like many times they will give find the size of a tree. So either you can use the other kind of traversal in order pre-order or thing, or you can just use the level traversal and find the size of a tree means how many nodes exist in a tree. So you just do here, if you come, you just traverse and start counting. Like when you, instead of printing here, you start counting the node, then you will have an account of the. Then find an element in a tree. So this height of a tree I will cover separately. Find an element in a tree also simple. Like what you have to do in this same. Just a minute. Just a minute. Hello. Srini? Yeah. Okay, fine. Okay. Yeah, sorry. So here, like, here the same problem, find a element is fine. Like in this API, you have to find the send which element you want to find, and iterating here, like you have to check if that element is here, then return it the node. So same problem, like finding elements also gets solved from the same recursion. Find the max and min, another problem you can solve using same thing. Find the number of leaf nodes, same thing, you just reverse, just traverse the tree and find the node which doesn't have right or left node. So that node will be a leaf node, and you can increment the count. Similarly, you can call full node means like it has a right child also and left child also. So you just traverse and find which all nodes has a right child also, left child also, and increment the count. So this problem also you can solve. Find the number of full nodes, the same problem. Print the deepest node. So this is again same problem. You do the level based traversal, level traversal, and whichever last node it visit will be the deepest node into this tree. So like here you visit this, and whatever last node it visit will be the deepest node into the tree. This is a couple of small problems which traversal solves, and many times interviewer will not ask directly traversing the tree, but it will give this problem where you have to go and traverse the tree. Level traversal is very good solving couple of these problems easily. And similarly, they find the height of a tree. So there are two tricks. One is like just use the level traversal and start calculating how many levels are there, and the number of levels will be the height of the tree. That is one way. Another way is a recursive way of doing it. Find the left side height of a left side, and then find a height of a right side, and then just do the plus one. This will be the height of a tree. So you go and recursively find, like, so what you are you find the left side height, right side height, whichever is greater, you just do plus on that. That will be the height of a tree. So there are two ways to solve this. Many, so what happens is like these small problems end of when some complex problem comes, you have to break up into these small problems and then solve it. So these all small algorithms knowing is good. So don't skip these small algorithms, considering like, so any problem, bigger problem also you want to solve, this will break up ultimately into these small problems. And then so everything is like you have a three type of traversal, then level traversal, and then finding the height, finding the nodes. Anything, any bigger problem or any problem will ultimately decompose into these problems only. So you should know best way of, and you should understand by code like how to solve these problems. Okay. So some use one useful technique which solves many problems which interviewer ask is something called marker at a level. So what is marker at a level? Like when you print this one level, you put some marker, then you print another level, you put some marker, then you print another level, you put some marker. So that is called marker at a level. Okay, so how to do that? So whenever, like here we put a route and then we put a null, and whenever we extract data from node from queue, if we get a null, means this level is over, one level is over. And then as soon as you get this null, you again insert a null in a queue. So what will happen is like you so just see here, like, so is 10, you put a null. Okay, then you started put a null. Okay, you put a 10 and then put a null. When 10 is processed, then these two nodes will be in a queue. Then after that null will come, then again you put a null. So null will become after these two. When you are processing this, then you will process all these four and then put a null. So this, what this will guy will do is like always recursively it will start putting null whenever whenever level traversal ends. So this is very good technique to put a marker at the level end. Now we'll see like what all problems it solves and which interviewer asks So this is the problems like which this particular traversal level marker level based traversal with marker solves. Like so many time he asks like print slash n after each level. So you have to print slash n after each level. So you should know like where. So if you know like here is a marker, so here you can put a slash n. So this guarantees like after printing. So you print this here, you print, and then wherever you get this marker, print put a slash n. So this is one problem. Second problem, people ask create a separate list for each level. So again, create a separate list for each level means like what you have to do, put a mark, just do this, and whenever you get a marker, then create a new list and then start adding into that list. So this is another problem. Find the height of a tree. We already saw like how marker solves it. Find the depth of a node. So this is again like as soon as you get a marker, you increment the depth, uh, and at the end you will get the depth of a tree. Same thing for the height. As soon as you get a marker, increment the height. At the end, you will get the height of a tree. Print the which level has a maximum sum. This is another problem like print this which level has a maximum sum. So you keep summing the each level, you keep summing the stuff. As soon as you get the marker, you compare with the whatever maximum earlier, and then if maximum has changed, then change the which level it has maximum. So store the max level number and the max sum, and then at the marker you always calculate check the sum and reset the sum. So this is the way like marker based, like they will come, problem will come in this format, but solution is like marker based. Uh, so many times this is a bigger challenge if you're not gone through these kind of sessions or a study in a net and or other or a book. This kind of problem becomes very difficult to solve on the fly. Okay. So this is very important marker at a level, and it solves many small these problems, and this problem will come directly to you, and then you have to figure it out. Okay, marker based level will solve this problem. Then uh, then couple of tricky questions like find two nodes are at a same level or not. Like so again like marker based traversal will solve this problem. And do the level traversal and see both nodes exist in the same cycle or not. If doesn't exist in same cycle, then so marker based level again solves this problem. Find the least common ancestors. Like so this is another problem, means uh, like this guy and this guy ancestor is what, like this. If you see this and this, his ancestor is this. So least common ancestor means immediate ancestors. Like so for this and this is the ancestor. But for this and this ancestor is 12. So what is the trick we should use to solve this problem? So so the trick is very simple. Like you should have a traversing mechanism, and uh, so if traversing mechanism says node 1 and node 2 exist on a left side, then traverse the left tree. Okay. And if node 1 and node 2 exist on a right side, then traverse the right side. Okay. If node 1 exists on a left side and node 2 exists on a right side, then return the node. That is the least common ancestor. So just see here, like we come here. Okay. These though both node exist on a right side, no need to return. Come here. Okay. If 5 is there, then one exists on a left side, one exists on a right side. So this will be the least common ancestor. 5 will be common. For this node and this node, just check, we'll check this node. From root, it exists left tree. So let's go to the left side. If you come here, this exists on a right side and this exists on a left side. So this will be the least common ancestor. Okay. So this is the way you will solve the least common ancestor problem. Okay, let's see another problem. Okay, so this is the least common ancestor problem. Let's come to the another problem which interviewer asked. Find two nodes are cousin. Two nodes are cousin means they don't have a common, they don't have a same parents, like 20 20 and 10 has a 12 parents, so they are not cousin, so because they are siblings, like, okay, but uh, uh, 10 and 13 they don't have the same parents, but they exist on a another characteristics, like they should exist on a same level. So constraint for the cousin is like they should not have a common parents and they should exist on a same level. Now, based on our earlier experience, what we learned is like we can find these two nodes exist on a same level using our previous algorithm. So find these two nodes exist on a same level. Then find the now recently we learned like how to find the least common ancestor. Find the least common ancestor. If least common ancestor is not a parent of one of these guys, then they are the cousins. So this is the trick. Using two problems we solved earlier, you can solve the third problem. So you have to check if they exist on a same level. And second thing, find the least common ancestor. It should not be parent of these guys, then they are
Mm-hmm.
cousins. Okay.
Are you
Another
getting very good?
another tricky
Yes,
question.
yes, yes. Okay. So I will. Yeah, it's okay. Like if we can't give, then we can't do anything. Okay, so we have to wait.
Okay. So another interesting problem is like print the level wise data in a zigzag order. Zigzag order means it will print 10, then it will print 12, 5, then it will come back and then print 35, 30, 10, and 20. Like, so it will print like this, and like this it will go. So what is the technique? Again, like you have to do the same level wise traversal. So you should know the level wise traversal algorithm. Okay, and then use one variable which will point like what was the previous. So again, you have to use the marker, like you saw earlier. Like you have to use the marker. We So you have to use the marker, and as soon as you hit the marker here, based on some variable, what was the last traversal, you just reverse the traversal. So you use just one variable which will point like which kind of traversal you are using for this level, and it will just reverse for the next level, and just do the uh, marker based traversal for the tree. So this will solve. And whenever you find like you have to reverse it, use the stack to put the data, and as soon as you hit the marker, use the stack to pop up data and then print it. So reverse you can do using stack. From variable you can, oh, what is that? Yeah. From variable you will know like which order you have to print. So before that, I think we missed one more problem, is like print the level wise data in a reverse order. So let's solve this problem first. So again it's same as like it's a level based marker based traversal, but what you have to do is like instead of printing data, you start putting data in a stack, and as soon as you hit the marker, you pop data from the stack and print it. So this will print in a reverse orders, like what will be 10, 5, and 12, then 13 to 10. So what you have to do, as soon as you are traversing this you uh, start putting into the stack, and as soon as you hit the marker, you take out from the stack and print it. So this is the technique for the reverse order, but this is little more advanced version, like you need now zigzag. So zigzag is same, like you will use this stack, but you have to use this stack only alternatively. So use for alternatively using stack, you keep one variable which will tell you like you have to do the in which order, and change this variable as soon as you hit the marker. This is another tricky question. People ask, print the route to leaf path. So what is route to leaf path means, like you have to print 10, 12, 10, 20, then 10, 12, 10, then 10, 5, 30, then 10, 5, 35. So like this, like you have to print the route to leaf path. So again, it is a simple traversal, in order traversal. So you are doing simple in order traversal. But what you are doing here is like, here trick is like you have to pass the path and a path length into this. Okay. And as soon as you hit the leaf node, like we are hitting the leaf node, so whatever in a path and a path, go and print it. But here is a trick, like what you are doing is like you are inserting the data in a path, and you are just incrementing the path number of elements into the path. So this is the small trick, like you pass the path, you pass the path length, and each time you go to next level, you just increment +1 and send it. And as soon as you hit the leaf node, the path will contain always this, and length will contain till what level you have to print, what index you have to print. So using just one array and a length, you can solve this problem of printing root to leaf uh, node path till read to. Okay. Another problem is same problem. So this is, just remember this technique, like because this technique will be helpful in many places. So parting the path and the path length, and then using this path length, say use see this problem also. This is a similar problem. Print a path for a given sum. Like suppose you have given 100, and then you have to print the path which whose sum is 100. So what you are doing, say doing same path int and path length int and sum. Instead of condition here to check for the leaf node, what you are doing is you are just deducting the sum, and if sum becomes 0 means this is the place you have to print the path, because now you got the sum. So this and if you didn't get the sum, if it is less than 0 means like no need to traverse the path, because now you will not get the sum 0 if all are positive number. If it is, there could be negative number also, then you have to traverse the path again. And else just whatever remaining sum, so this date, whatever remaining sum will be whatever remaining sum, pass this and pass the this path and path +1, so you can store the path again in a next. So same problem, path finding problems, but path finding for a sum. So little tweak into the algorithm, you can solve this print path for the given sum. Find all the ancestors of a node. This is again same problem. Like so what you have to do is like given 25, you have to print all the ancestors like 35 and 10. When given 35, you have to print 35 and 10. So here's a small mistake, this you should not do it. Okay, so this line is not needed. So print ancestor, same problem, path length and node. As soon as this node you hit here, you print the path. This path will contain all the ancestors of the node, and you are traversing same, like you are just putting this data into the path, and then just passing path length +1 and the node. So same problem, same solution. These are 3 or 4 different kind of ways it can come to you in interviews. So these are a couple of techniques, if you know, like you can solve. Another interesting and good problem which generally people ask, find the diameter of a tree. So what is diameter of a tree? Like you take 2 leaf nodes and see like which can have the maximum distance between two leaf nodes. So you take this leaf node and then take this leaf node, and whatever maximum distance, that will be the diameter of a tree. So the solution is very simple. What you have to do is like you take the height of a left tree and a right tree, okay, and wherever like left tree and a right tree height, you just sum it, that will be the diameter, and wherever this is maximum, that will be the diameter of a tree. So here like similar thing we are doing, like so what we are doing, we are taking the tree height of a left side, then taking the tree height of a right side, then come then then combining this left height and a right height into the diameter, if and storing this diameter as a global variable or a member variable, whatever it is, and then if this is height, then returning. So while you are calculating height itself, you are calculating the diameter. If this diameter is maximum, wherever is maximum, you get this maximum diameter. So that is the technique to get the diameter. So get the height of left and right tree and sum up that, that will be always maximum. This is another interesting problem people ask, is like many problems related to the vertical division of a tree. So you divide the vertically this tree, and technique is very simple. Whenever you are traversing tree, you have to pass a column, and whenever traversing left side, you -1. Whenever you're traversing right side, make it +1. So that's a way you will always know, like, and whenever you need to do any calculation, do it in this column whatever is passed. So just see this problem, find the sum of the vertical sum. So like you have to divide the whole tree vertically and do the sum of nodes in a same column. Okay, so same way what we are doing is like we are storing this sum into the map for each column. So we have taken a map which has the sum and the column name. So whatever column is coming, we are checking here, like if this column already exists or not. Doesn't exist, then put the data. If exists, then sum up the data and put it back. But here is the key, like if left exists, then traverse the left with column -1, and if right exists, then traverse the column +1. So this is the technique, like you can divide the tree using the, this is sign in order traversal, but just putting one more attribute called column, and it will divide the tree into the vertically separated. There are a couple of more problems people generally ask, like to print all the nodes in all the nodes in the same column. Then what you have to do, instead of sum, you have to start create a linked list and start putting all the columns into that linked list. So that is another problem people ask generally here. Then couple of problems related with the comparisons. So then couple of questions regarding the comparison of a tree. So one question is like, given a two tree, you have to find these trees are identical or not. Like, so identical means like both has the same number of nodes and same number of childs and the value. So here 10, here 10, here 12, here 12, here 5, here 5. So you have a same number of nodes, same number of, how you find it. So there we have to compare two things, root node data. So whatever node data should be same, and same number of child should be there. So trick is simple, like you have this node should match. Similarly, these two, his subtree should match. If subtree is identical, then and node value is same, then it will be identical tree. So same logic is written here. But here very tricky part is like handling this root null part. So they carefully handle the null conditions. That is very much important. This 4 line of code, no, you check both are null, return true. If one is null, then return false. Any one is not. Otherwise, they go and calculate the value and then the subtrees. So here you are passing the left and the right. You are comparing. So recursively. So this is checking the null condition is very important in this identical tree um, comparisons. Uh, mirror then another question, similar question is like mirroring this tree is mirror of this tree or not. So mirror, like it gets things gets opposite, like so just left becomes right, right becomes left, like mirror problem is like both tree will have a same nodes uh, and the child, same number of nodes and child, but left exists at the right side and right exists at the left side. So it's the same problem what we have seen there, similar problem, only this comparison will change here, like so left root 1 left will compare with the root 2 right, and the root 1 right will compare with the root 2 left. So this is the only change into the compared to identical tree, and it will be uh, so this is mirroring of the one more similar kind of tree comparison called isometric tree. So what is isometric tree is like, it's a similar to the identical tree, only value might be changed, like so instead of 10 here could be 11, instead of, so this is not isometric tree, I think it's a cut copy mistake, but oh, it could be isometric because value doesn't matter, same number of trees are there. So this can be a isometric tree, like, so because value doesn't matter, it has two child, it has two child, here it has two child, here also it has two child, here it has all two child, two child. So again comparison is same as what we have solved earlier, only here you no need to check the data value. When we were checking the data value, no need to check the data value, only right, you just check the uh, nodes are identical or not. Okay, so here till here, like we completed the binary tree discussion. Now next interesting thing is binary search tree. So this is another good discussion topics in the interviews, like binary search related tree. So it is same as what we have seen earlier as a binary tree. Only difference is like here is some constraints. Like the binary tree also has a left and right maximum two childs, but node value will have a constraint. So always left will be more than root, and left will be less than root, and the right will be greater than root. So uh, that is the important property of a BST tree. Then in order traversal gives shortest. So here, like if you do the in order traversal, you'll get this. So this is another property which is utilized in solving couple of problems called always in order traversal will give you sorted array. So that is another property of the BST. And compared to like binary tree, here you can predict the where will be the data. Like if suppose somebody say 10 and you see the root 20, then you can predict, okay, 10 will be left side of the this tree. So it optimize the search. So all search related stuff by BST is the best option. So anywhere search related stuff comes, and any data structure choice is given, BST will be the best data structure. So many times what will happen, no, people will give you the problem and then you have to choose the right data structure. So if you know the quality and characteristics of the data structure, then you can use the right data structure. So that sometimes problem comes reverse. So we earlier saw like traversal is very easy. Like if somebody asks find the element in a BST, then it becomes very easy. You have to just search, like if data is less than if data is less than the uh, root data, means you have to traverse the left side of it, else you have to traverse the right side of it if it is matching return. So it becomes a very optimized search using the BST. Similarly, like couple of times people ask like find the minimum value in the binary search tree, how will find it. So you just go left, 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 and then this will be the minimum value. So they ask like what is the where you'll get the minimum value. So minimum value, you just go left, 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 and you'll get the minimum value. Similarly, they ask how where you'll get the maximum value. So what they say is like go to the right. It's not like right, 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 right. You go, and wherever you will not get the no, node right, that will be the highest value for the uh, 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 highest value in the binary search tree. So you just go here, here, here. You got here 25, the 30. Right? Here no right is there. That means this will be the max value. Again, interesting stuff here is like how to insert a node in the BST. So these are now little tricky because there are constraints, and inside considering those constraints only, you have to find insert a node. So inserting node is easy in BST because you have to, like, you are finding the node, you find similarly you find the position based on the constraint, like whatever data you have to insert, it should be greater than root node. So you just find the value where it makes sense, where it is less than the, where this node is greater than the root node and less than the there you go and insert the node. But this becomes deletion becomes very tricky. Like, so if you have to delete a 8, then no issue, like, because it is a leaf node, you can just delete it and make it null. Here also, like, if you have to delete say 31 and it has one child, then also it becomes easy, like then this 30 will start pointing to this child. So that is also not an issue. But problem becomes like if you have to delete a 30, so how to delete a 30, how to delete a 30. So what you have to do is like whenever you have to delete a 30, what you have to do in his subtree, suppose in his subtree you have to find the maximum element and replace with 30 that element, and then you have to call if some more element after this is there, or then you have to recursively call the deletion of that particular node. So that's the way you will delete the binary search node from the binary search tree. So you find let's suppose you have to delete a 30, find the highest value, replace with this node, and then wherever you find the node, if something else is there, then recursively call deletion of that particular uh, node. So that's the way you will delete. So this is some many times interviewer asked because it's a little tricky to solve it. Okay. Another question people ask is like by given a tree, like is a BST or not, binary search tree or not. So we know one characteristics, like one characteristic is like you have to go and always go and check it, like uh, all the uh, all the nodes character it is matching to that characteristics, like left side is left side is less than the root, and the right side greater. But many times no, it doesn't solve the problem, because maybe some value down here which is following constraints, like say here uh, inside this 2011, if we add 21 this side, right side, then also it is correct, it is following a rule, like it is this 21 is greater, but this 21 is greater than 20, then it is a wrong BST. So what people suggest is like best technique is like do the in order traversal and see, like if array is sorted, that means it is a BST. If array is not sorted, that means this tree is not a BST tree. Similarly, just related problem people ask is like find a faulty node in BST. Just see here, like this 31 is a faulty node because 30 is less than 31, so 30 should come as a root node, and then so how to find a so we know like traversing the node in order to get the sorted array. So we know like you will always get the sorted array when you traverse it. So how to find a sorted this so what you have to do, traverse this node in order, you will get the sorted array. In array, then you go and check at the array. If it is not in sorted, if it is not sorted or some problem is there, that means like there are faulty nodes. So you have to find, you found the faulty node, then next thing is like you sort the array and then rebuild the tree. So you sort the array and then rebuild the tree. That will solve the problem of the faulty node. You have to search, there will be some optimized way also, but you have to find some more techniques to do it, but this is the one known technique. Another problem generally interviewer asks is like, given sorted array, build a BST. So yeah, one array is given, and then using that array you have to make a BST. So this is very simple. Find the middle element and put it into a as a root node, and then take a left area. So left area, again left side of the partition, find the middle element and put it into the left side. Similarly, on right side, find the middle element and then put it into the right side of a node. So that's a simple technique, like always find the middle and start putting left side of or right side of it, so you will build the BST. Another problem, this you guys can practice it. Another problems are asked like, if two arrays are given in a pre-order and a in order, and you have to construct a BST based on, write BST based on pre-order and in order traversal. Similarly, sometime questions are asked like, if post order and in order traversal is given, so make the BST. Then another question is asked, if given post order and a pre-order traversal, then make. So given post order and pre-order traversal, you cannot construct the BST. Like, so this is you should know that. Similarly, like so many times it is asked like, kth element, find the kth element in the BST. So it is plain in order traversal, and in order traversal, whenever you are in a kth element, you will whenever you are printing the kth element, that will be the kth element of the BST. So thanks. So this is the part one of the tree discussion, and I'll continue my discussion on a tree maybe next uh, part two, where we will cover the many other different like generic trees, then BST and the BST plus, then balanced trees and the tri-structure. So just wait for my next session where we will discuss the part two of a tree discussions. Any questions, anything from anybody? I'll just unmute all. You can unmute and then ask the questions. So I keep doing these sessions, like we will cover many things, like, so one is data structures, algorithms, then specifically like people, if here audience is like they are 5+ experience, then a couple of design questions, like how to answer design questions, architecture questions, then a lot of design patterns, like how design patterns solves different kind of problems. Then we'll go to the next segment called distributed databases, and then detail in a Java, like, so a lot of interviews happens around Java and language specific, like, so Java, C++. Mostly I will cover the Java and then C. Then any other things you guys feel like these particular topics needs to be covered, feel free to write to me. My email address is given here. I'll just type in a thing. And what I am doing is like, after this session, no either you can attend the follow-up sessions or the same sessions. I will keep continuing these sessions again and again. You or any of your friends attend whenever. So this information generally I push it into the Facebook. But what I suggest is, like, I have made one app called Brush Up. This sign you'll get BS. You can download that app. All the information about the new session, next sessions, it will be given there. Not only that, like whatever questions we are discussing here will be there available for a quickly going through it. Like, so we will add the hint there, we will add the answers there. So advantage is, like, when you are sitting in an interview waiting for half an hour, you can take this app and quickly brush up your whatever we discussed in a sessions. And this is the first session. Definitely based on you guys feedback, I will keep improving the way presentations, and include more and more cases which are covered in the interviews. So this is just first session I tried remotely. So was it is useful for you guys? Anybody like wants to comment on that? Like, is what is useful for you guys? Okay, good. Thanks. Yeah. So keep attending. I keep so app is there, so you will keep getting reminders on the app, like what is next coming, when it is coming. Mostly because this is targeted mostly for the working little senior people. So will happen mostly Saturday Sunday. So you have a little flexibility attending these sessions. So next session is a very interesting session, which where I am going to cover the concurrency related issues. Like, so what kind of concurrency related issues you will find in the, yeah. And then after that I will cover the part two of the tree, because there are many very complex problems which are asked in interview, which will be solved by the little uh, next level of trees structure. Okay. Okay. So yeah, I'm trying first time, like, let me structure these things, like how well we can do the online sessions. Like, so first, because covering everything on a PPT, you guys, what you can do is, like, time to time what I'm doing is, like, one day I keep it a workshop.